Español 1, capítulo 3A, desayuno o almuerzo. We're going to talk about food. Yes, food. Food. So, tenemos unos verbos que van con la comida, okay? Desayunar, almorzar, cenar. All of these are actions. They're verbs that involve eating. So, you know comer, well, you have to eat, desayunar, to eat, almorzar. All of these are to eat. What do you, well, let's turn the verbs into their noun form, the sustantivos. You have desayunar, comer el desayuno. Almorzar, comer el almuerzo. Cenar, comer la cena. And look, I put some approximate, these aren't exact, every family's different, but some approximate times to give you the idea of what time of day you would eat each of these meals. So if you just use a little bit of logic, you can figure out that this is to eat what? Well, what if I tell you something else? Ayunar is to fast. Desayunar is to break the fast. And I bet all these others all of a sudden fill in. And then we have a couple of drinking verbs, and they're interchangeable. You have beber or tomar. Beber agua, tomar agua, okay? Like this, like that, beber, tomar, okay? So, that's the consumption verbs for the chapter. Then we have los sustantivos. Now we have el desayuno, el almuerzo, la comida. I thought you just said that was food. We'll talk about that in a second. La cena. So la comida, or la hora de la comida means lunchtime. I've got it written down here. Okay, but comida, as you can see, I wrote down there, the word has three meanings. Just like in a dictionary, you'll see meaning one, meaning two, meaning three. Comida can mean food, literally. It can mean a meal, or it can mean lunch. Okay, that's it for the verbos y sustantivos. Now let's get to a little bit of traditional food vocabulary. We'll start with el desayuno. All right, so we're on this column right here. Cameraman, are we there? Are we good? All right. Las salchichas. El tocino. These are breakfast meats. Okay. Las salchichas. Okay. Okay, let's see. Sometimes they're formed in like a hot dog, a wiener. Sometimes they're in circular patties. Okay, las salchichas. I bet from my little description you can figure out what that means. And then el tocino, that's my favorite. Okay, well, I'll just say bacon. Okay, then el huevo, el cereal. Okay, huevo comes from pollos, from chickens. All right, you crack it open. Which first, el huevo or el pollo? Okay, el cereal, el pan tostado, el pan dulce, el pan. All right, so you have pan, pan, pan. All right, but look at that word. Look at that cognate, tostado. I bet you can figure out just from tostado what pan means. Pan tostado. Pan dulce, that's more like something you might get at Krispy Kreme or a bakery. Okay, very sweet, dulce. All right, or el pan, just a general word. El yogur, look, it's missing the T. In Spanish, you don't put a T on there. El yogur. And then, there's a funny story about this. It's el panqueque. And I'm going to tell you a story about when I was a student in college living in Mexico. Well, I was with a group of guys and we were really missing panqueques. And I bet you can figure out el panqueque, what that is. Well, my friend and I were talking with some natives. Oh, we really want some panqueques. And they were like, panqueques? Well, we didn't know that in this part of Mexico, panque is the word for pound cake. And so they got us some, they thought, why do they want pound cake? So they brought us this pound cake, and we're like, here's your, they said, aquí está su panque. And we're like, panque? No, queremos panqueques, panqueques. And we tried to describe it to them and everything. And then finally one of them slaps her head and said, oh, ustedes quieren decir whole cakes. We said, no, panqueques. They said, no, whole cakes. So in some countries, instead of panqueque, they say whole cakes. I just thought you'd find that interesting. So these are some traditional desayunos. Now some traditional, almuerzo. Now the book says almuerzo, but I'm going to add on cena, because to me, lunch and dinner food is all kind of the same. Hey, I just gave away some answers, okay? So something that you have with el almuerzo o la cena is las frutas. I bet you can figure out what frutas are, and these are different frutas. You have las fresas, okay? I like mine with shortcake, right, or cream, fresas y crema, right, fresas, okay? El plátano, okay, the monos, los changos, los gorillas that comen los plátanos, right? All right, they're amarillo in color. La manzana, I have a manzana right there. New York is called la gran manzana, okay? I bet you know what manzana means. La naranja, okay, it's the same as the color, right? And then la uva, okay, a lot of people turn that into wine, okay, la uva. So there's some popular fruits, las frutas. Then we have las verduras, not very popular with teenagers and children, but still very important. And I know there's one here that's really a fruit though, but I put it in the verdura one because V8, uve8, you know, it's a vegetable drink, not fruit. But anyway, okay. La lechuga, okay, that's the base for all ensaladas. Oh, la ensalada, okay. El tomate, all right, in some countries they call it el jitomate, but el tomate. La cebolla, okay, it's very layers, you cut it, makes you cry. Well, you have las papas, but my favorite way to eat them is las papas fritas. Con catsup. Okay? And then if you want to mix them all together and put them in hot water and boil it for a while, you get la sopa de verduras. Alright. Moving right along, next column. Las carnes. This is your meat group. But I have an asterisk by 2 because they're not actually meats, but they are proteins, which puts them into the meat group. I checked with the biology teacher across the hall from me just to make sure. So, las carnes. La crema de cacahuate. Okay, again, it's vegetarian, but cacahuate, my absolute favorite word in Spanish. Cacahuate. Okay? But la crema de cacahuate, some people call it mantequilla de maní. Alright, but la crema de cacahuate is peanut butter. Alright, so peanuts go into the meat group because they have a lot of protein. They're actually legumes or something like that. But anyway, los frijoles, the most popular protein in Latin America. Los frijoles, I bet you can figure out what that means. Okay, they're very popular in burritos and in some tacos. All right, so then we have Finding Nemo. El pescado. El pollo. KFC. El pollo. Pa, pa. All right, is that the noise I made? I can't remember. Okay, el jamón. Jamón. Or you can say el jamón. Okay, el jamón. El perrito caliente. Again, la hamburguesa, etc. El bistec. It's not on the list, but el bistec, you're going to be learning that in a couple chapters. So we go from the meat, vegetables, fruits to las bebidas. El agua. All right, that's number 1. All right, and when everybody gets really tired, they need a break. They say, oh, I need an agua break. Right now. Okay, el agua. El café. Now, I'm actually going to teach you the words con y sin. El café, con azúcar, that's sugar. El café, sin crema. So if it's con azúcar y sin crema, it's still going to be black or brown, okay? But if it's con azúcar y con crema, then you're putting the cream in, all right? Or con azúcar, con crema, that's putting everything in. Con azúcar sin crema, that's putting in sugar but keeping out the cream. So con with, sin without. It is not a sin to put cream in your coffee. Get it? A sin. Sin, sin. Alright, anyway, it's false cognate too. Sin means without. Alright, then other bebidas, other drinks, beverages. El jugo de manzana, el jugo de uva, el jugo de naranja. Okay, so I bet you can figure out what jugo means. Okay, if you have jugo de manzana, all these fruits. Okay, you could have jugo de zanahoria, right? Zanahoria is orange, carrot, alright. Anyway, la limonada, again, all of these, I think you can figure them out even though I'm not explaining them too expressly. Then la leche comes from a cow. Okay, la leche. Then el licuado, some people use leche to make the licuado. I've written it in English right next to it. Okay, some people just use fruta. Okay, el refresco, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, those are popular refrescos. El té, and then el té helado, very popular here in North Carolina at Bojangles. That's it for the vocab.